All right. So, hi, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I already see the comments coming in into the feed. So, I want to say a warm welcome to everyone who is with me today. Thank you so much for joining for this session. So, I'm going to start by beginning and just saying that thank you again. I'm really excited for this conversation. We got a lot to cover this week. And for those of you who know me, I love talking about personal branding because it's been something that has been a tremendous part of my strategy for my entire career. And one of the specific things that has really catapulted my brand has been public speaking, right? And so today you're going to get a lot of value, tons and tons of crazy amount of strategy and perspective. And I'm going to dive right in because I know many of you are here in the middle of your day, in the morning. I know we usually get people from all over the world, but again, I'm so excited to welcome you to today's session. So, with that said, a little bit of housekeeping because one, we are going to be live every single day today, this week, 12 p.m. daily, same time, same place. Yes, I am live. I just want to make sure that people are aware that I am live with all of you. This is not a pre recording, this is not a prefix. I am live. And I do appreciate that you ask questions on the chat because I will address them immediately, sometimes during the session, sometimes at the end of the session. I love answering questions because your question might serve someone else on the call. So please feel free to ask your questions throughout the call. I will scan the chat feed to find those questions and answer them immediately. The last thing I will say is that we will be sending recaps every single day at the end of each session. And yes, replays will be available, but obviously being here in the moment live for me to answer your questions, support you is always the best method for you to get exactly what you came for this entire week of the program. I will let you know though that the replays will expire on Monday. So please be ready to dive in and come ready and willing to learn and apply what you're learning this week. Now, I do want to have a little bit of a straight talk and address the elephant in the room because several reasons. The first thing I will say is that I recognize that right now we are in a time where many of you are savvy internet users. You have seen so many different strategies play out online. Some of you have been frustrated. Some of you have invested in opportunities before, and you are just like, look, I don't want to hear another gimmick. I don't want to hear another trend. I don't want to hear another fad. Many of you are frustrated with the ecosystem right now, and I want to address that head on. All I can say is that I am leveraging the internet and the tools that are at my disposal to be able to reach you today to add value and support you on your journey in the best way that I know how in my expertise in domain of public speaking as a career choice. So with that said, that leads me to number two. I am going to share with you an opportunity to join me, and it will require an investment. Let's just call that out the way now, right? Why? Because one, I'm an entrepreneur. Two, at one point in time, you are going to invest time, money, and energy into something to support you on your journey. My hope is if you like me, if you engage with me, if you feel like, this girl knows what she's talking about, she's in there, she's thriving, she's doing it, I want to work with her. That's the energy I want you to have. And that's the energy I want to provide you. So, yes, I will share opportunity for you to move forward with me. But I just want to make sure I address that. And the last thing I will say, please come in with an open mind. Come in with your questions, not your setbacks, not your issues. Come with actual challenges. Come with questions so I can help you solve them. Because as stated before, this is something that I'm truly passionate about, advising people on how to really navigate the career when it comes to personal branding. And I want to be able to support you in that journey through these conversations. So I want to, again, address the elephant in the room and get right down to business and make that very clear. So that way you have the right expectations. But also recognize that I get you. I see where you're coming from. I'm in these internet streets as well. I've seen the ecosystem and the journey that has taken over the past couple of years. And I want to make sure that I want to be hopefully a breath of fresh air for you today. All right. So just wanted to address the elephant in the room. Now, I want to know who's in the room with me as I have this discussion and kick this off. I want you to tell me if you are here because you want to get paid to speak but don't know where to begin. Comment in the chat that that's you. So that way I know that you're the one that's in the room today and this is where you are beginning. All right. The second thing is let me know if you're here, if you are already speaking but need to level up and make more money. Comment if that is you. Give me a chat. So one, if you are here because you want to get paid to speak but don't know how. Comment two, if you are already speaking but you need to level up and learn how to do this. Okay. And I already see questions coming in, which is powerful because I will be addressing them throughout the session as well. Okay. So just want to make sure I know who's on the call with me. One or two. One, you want to get paid to speak, but don't know where to begin. Two, you're already speaking, but you want to level up. Okay. Just want to make sure that I am speaking to the right place. And guess what? You are in the right room, whether you're either of those two people. I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right audience here on today's session. Okay. Now, with that said, I will begin with this. Some of you don't really know your core issue, the barrier, the wall that you're trying to break right now to really get paid to speak, to really get into a speaker circuit on a consistent basis. And I will begin by, instead of throwing solutions out to you, I want to articulate first that until you know your problem, you're not going to be prepared for the solution. I could just sit here and say, like, hey, here's a spreadsheet, go on and multiply and have fun. And you will still come back and say, I don't know how to even leverage this tool. How many of you have been told how to do something, but when it comes to the execution, you found that you were getting stuck because you still need steps and explanations and conversations to really help you execute on the solution that was proposed to you? Tell me if you're here, if you faced that before where you've been stuck. All right. I'm here to get you unstuck and have the conversations that you need to have to get you to where you need to go, especially going into 2025. Right. So I want to make sure I'm clear. Tell me what challenge you are facing right now, because again, until you know the exact problem that you're facing, you won't know the right solution that will work for you in this moment, real time. Okay. So comment one, if your challenge right now is that I can't find any speaking gigs, period. You don't even know how to find the first one. Comment one if that is you. Comment two, if you're finding free gigs, but you can't get booked for paid gigs, and you're starting to get frustrated because, like, look, I can find engagements to speak at, but to get paid for it, it's a problem, right? Comment two if that is you. Comment three, if I'm finding a couple of paid gigs, but it's not consistent. So you figured out how to get a couple of paid gigs. You got a couple of checks. But for some reason, to actually now do it consistently where you can plan on it, not happening. Okay? Comment four, if you're getting consistent paid gigs, you're starting to really be able to map out your calendar and be able to get paid engagements. However, to get to the next fee bracket, you're stuck at, let's say, 2,000, you're trying to get to $5,000, right? You're stuck at a certain level. Comment four if that's you. Comment five, if you are literally in the space where you're just getting unpredictable cycles. You're getting free gigs, then you get a paid gig, and then you get momentum, and then there's a drop, and then you don't know what to do, and then you're feeling overwhelmed, and then you're pissed off for everybody because you're just like, what the hell? I am good at what I do, but it's not consistent in what I'm getting back from the community, and you're just pissed off right now. Comment five if that's you, right? And comment six if you're like, look, Christine, I don't even know what I don't know. I just know I just don't know. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. Comment six if that is you. Okay? Whoever you are on the spectrum, this challenge that we're addressing is very, very important because we need to figure out where you are stuck. Right? And the best thing I will say, the reality that's holding many of you back when it comes to this conversation about paid speaking engagements is that some of you are stuck speaking for free. Okay, we are going into 2025, and many of you are still stuck in this space where you're still speaking for free. Some of you are chasing opportunities. You go into the networking events, you're commenting to people, you're talking to people, you're asking for the referral, you're just chasing opportunities. Opportunities are not coming to you. For many of you, maybe you're getting the opportunities, but you are paralyzed when it comes to negotiating your speaker fee. You don't even know how to even get the best amount for your value. You don't even know what to say. Some of you are just so stuck in trying to get opportunities that you're stuck and settling just to moderate an event, a panel, just to get on stage. But you're not the one that's keynoting. You're not the one on the panel. You're not the one being interviewed. You're not the one sharing your expertise. You're moderating the influencers who are sharing their expertise. And that's the only way right now you can get on the stage. Some of you is like, look, this is important to me, but I got way too much stuff going on in my life, and I'm juggling life obligations while trying to figure this out, and I'm not making headway, right? Let me know if you're feeling any of these things that's affecting you in your reality, right? Some of you are just like, look, I'm just stuck in general in my life. I'm not able to level up. Maybe it was a bad year. Maybe I'm in the wrong spot at the right time. I don't know what to do, right? Some of you are highly dependent on others, and some of you are just like, look, I'm getting the gigs, but for some reason I'm exhausted preparing for multiple talks with different PowerPoints because I literally don't know how to focus my time. And some of you, this is a big one, are tired of seeing mediocre alternatives to you winning. Comment yes if I'm speaking to somebody today where you know you are 10 times better than that person in your industry that's constantly on the speaker circuit and they're winning and you're just like failing at figuring this out, right? And comment and let me know if you're tired of like going to random events, not knowing where the speaking opportunity is going to come next, and you're just like, look, I don't even know what to do, right? This is the reality that's holding many of you back. Now, here's the thing. Getting booked to speak is great. Some of you share that you got in a couple of speaking engagements, but getting paid to speak is a completely different game field. And this is the reason why we're having this conversation today, because it takes sometimes having a conversation with someone who's done it before multiple times, like myself, to tell you the things that people in the industry and in your community and in the speaker circuit will not tell you up front. Comment truth if you want some truth behind the speaker business today. Comment truth if that's what you want, right? Where you recognize that, look, I don't want just a blueprint. I don't want a theory. I don't want a PDF guide. I want the truth. How do I break into public speaking and get paid to do what I know best, which is my expertise? How do I get paid for that? Right? Some of you, that's what you want. Okay. So here's the thing. Some of you, this is your reality in terms of what you are actually doing. And you're literally the walking definition of insanity. Okay. You're literally doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. This is the definition of insanity by Albert Einstein. Right. So here's where we begin. Many of you are at the bottom of the funnel where you're just trying multiple events. You just look, wherever I get an opportunity. Hey, you got you're talking about AI. I can speak on AI. Hey, you're talking about women in power. I can speak on that. Hey, you're talking about entrepreneurship. I can speak on that. You're talking about the creative industry. I can speak on that. Any opportunity you could get, you're like, look, I'm here. I'm ready. Let me speak. You're just trying multiple events, right? And as a result, the next thing that's really put in truth to power is that now you're speaking on multiple topics. So there's really no focus. And one day you're speaking about AI, one moment you're speaking about branding, one moment you're speaking about shoes, another moment you're speaking about real estate. Literally, you're all over the place. And that's exhausting because now you're preparing different conversations all the time. Some of you is like, okay, let me just get really focused and let me apply to multiple speaking engagements. Let me email this person. Let me network as hard. You're working hard, but you're not getting the results, right? You're applying everywhere. You're doing all the things, but it's not generating results. Something's broken. And some of you, when it comes to social media, don't get me started. You're posting across social media all over the place, trying to get visibility, but you don't know what is actually pertinent to get you booked. And the last is you're doing all of this work and you're not even making any type of financial comeback from this. It's all for free. Can you imagine? You do all these things, but there's no return on investment. Tell me if you're frustrated at this point, right? And I'm saying this because I'm speaking from experience that I've been where you've been, where you're at right now. I've been there where I'm literally doing all the things, but all of the things are not bringing me results. And when I talk to people, whether I'm talking to an event organizer, whether I'm talking to a speaker, how many of you spoken to another speaker that's in the circuit and they're like, oh, you just got to network. You just got to meet the right people and then you'll get booked. They're gatekeeping. Or you talk to an event organizer, it's like, hey, how do I get on your stage? I don't got time for you. I'm organizing my event. You figure it out. Talk to my team. No matter who you're speaking to, you're not getting the answers you seek to actually make progress, right? And here's what's happening. By going to multiple events, you're getting exhausted because you have no focus. By speaking on multiple topics, you are known for nothing. No one knows you and no one can refer you for something consistent. By just applying, just throwing spaghetti at the wall, you don't know what strategy actually works. You don't know if it's the email that will convert, the applications, networking. You don't know what's your core action step to get things coming in for you, right? Some of you are doing social media posts everywhere, but are you posting on social media to get speaking engagements, or are you doing for career visibility? Some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you are juggling multiple projects. So you're just posting just to get visibility, but you don't know what you need to post specifically for speaking engagements. And if a lot of you, public speaking is not sustaining you financially anyway, because you're just doing it for free at this point, or inconsistently. So you got to do other things to sustain yourself financially, your business, your job, your projects, your initiatives, right? It's not sustainable. Okay. So I just want to share with you that what you're going through is not bad. It's not a bad thing. We all know we've been through milestones in our life and our career where it's just like you feel stuck and you need a breakthrough. You need an open mind, a framework to say, hey, how can I do things differently? And I just want to share with you that speaking does not have to be a hustle. All right. Speaking can open doors for you in your life, in your career, but you got to target the right doors with the right key. And some of you are banging down the wrong doors. And that is just facts. Okay. So I want you to stop chasing opportunities the wrong way and in the wrong places. Some of you are so close minded, you are only seeking speaking engagement opportunities in the same circuits, in the same spaces with the wrong mind frame. Okay. Here's the game plan for this week. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get paid to speak during this week. Today, we're going to talk about how to position your personal brand to attract paid speaking engagements in 2025 and stop speaking for free. Essentially, I'm going to give you the game plan for realigning your profile so you could be best positioned for paid engagements where you are valued for your expertise and value for your perspective in your journey. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to stop speaking on multiple topics. How many of you are aware that you can actually generate up to 6 figures per year with just one signature talk? And I want to teach you how to do less with more. How many of you will feel good with that? Right? On Wednesday, I'm going to share with you how to make your talk worth it to corporate buyers and go after top tier event planners. Again, this is the mindset shift I want to break for you. You don't have to only pitch event organizers. I want you to know that speaking can be done beyond the event speaking circuit. You could go beyond events to get paid to speak. On Thursday, I want to talk about how to avoid social media burnout. Now, I am a mother and a wife. I got multiple kids running around. I do not post every day, all day. I don't believe in that, right? And I think there's a radical movement right now of us realigning and resetting our relationship with social media in general. But social media is still a tool to advance your visibility. So I want to share with you on Thursday how to avoid social media burnout and stop posting everywhere. How to leverage just LinkedIn, one social media page, to close 5-figure speaking engagements consistently. That's mean 10K and above. You're not closing 5K deals, 2K deals, 1K, 10K and above. Because one page on the internet is all you need for success. And on Friday, we're going to bring it all together and talk about how to scale your impact and get paid for it. How to launch a profitable speaker business on and off stage, where I'm going to help you plan and create the lifestyle you desire, with public speaking being a core asset for you to scale your revenue and your career. That's what we're going to cover this week. And I want to now formally welcome you to the Get Paid to Speak Bootcamp, because these next 5 days, I promise you, I already know, because what I went through and what I learned in my entire 12 plus year career in public speaking, that these 5 days, I wish I had over a decade ago. I'm going to tell you everything you need. Okay. Now, with that said, just to introduce myself, my name is Christine Tim. If you have met me before, you know how I come to play on these streets. I'm going to give, and be open and share a lot of insight with you, because I've learned a lot along the way. If this is your first time interacting with me, welcome to my world. Welcome to my community. Welcome to my Get Paid to Speak Bootcamp. I love teaching. I love sharing insights. I love sharing opportunities with others, because it has been the single best thing that has helped me in my career, and I love to do the same. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a tech ecosystem builder, a wife and a mother of 4 beautiful kids. And over the years, I have launched and managed over 5 revenue generating companies across different industries, across different markets, and I've been featured. I'm so grateful and honored that I've been featured on almost every media outlet imaginable. And I've spoken at over 300 plus conferences around the world, from Dubai to Ghana to Haiti to Nigeria to Romania. I mean, I could keep going to Malaysia. I have spoken on stages that I only dreamed of being on, from TEDx to the United Nations to the World Bank to IBM to LinkedIn to MasterCard. I have been in places again that I did not expect to walk in. Okay. So, with that said, the reason why I want to take you on this journey to help you accomplish, if not the same, but even surpass my results, because it's always beautiful when a teacher sees their supporters, people who are there supporting, to accelerate beyond them. So my expertise lies in these following facts. One, I've spoken at over 300 different conferences today. I've been featured in multiple media outlets. I've generated millions for my speaker business over the past couple of years. And by the way, I also have the added benefit that I also organize events through one of my organizations around the world. We host about 100 different webinars, workshops, tech conferences, summits, programs every single year. So I can even give you the event organizer hat, how we select speakers to book and pay them for our engagements and invite them to our events, right? So I'm able to give you both hats. And I've done all of this without compromising my values, without compromising my integrity, without compromising my life, my decisions in terms of how I want to spend time with my family. I've been able to start a farm. I've been able to live in multiple countries while building a family. Listen, you could do all this without going in a rat race. All right. So, with that said, welcome to the Get Paid to Speak Bootcamp. And we're going to begin this conversation so I can introduce you to the speaker booking landscape so you can map out a clear path into 2025. Okay. So, with that said, I do want to encourage you, if you don't have your workbook, get it out right now. I suggest you printed it because it's always good to write. And I will tell you this, leverage the bootcamp not only because it documents all the information you need to actually work through what we're going to discuss over the week, but also listen, you're going to grow from this week. I guarantee it. You're not going to be the same person after this week. You're not going to be the same person from the insights you're going to learn. And because of that, you want to come back to see how far you've come. I guarantee you, for some of you, you're going to forget how far you've come. So to be able to have a documented workbook to show you how far you come, I'm telling you, you're going to get really emotional to see this. So please comment workbook if you have your workbook ready and available to you, so that way you can leverage it for today's chat. All right. I want to make sure everyone has it. I'm also posting the link on the chat for those of you who still need it, so that way you can work through with the workbook and leverage it for your support for today's session and the rest of the week. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how to position your personal brand to attract paid speaking engagements in 2025 and stop speaking for free. And why this conversation matters, because if you do not understand the speaker landscape and how people are able to get positioned for opportunities, you're just going to be out there just chasing random opportunities and not getting any consistent traction. Okay. So I will start by saying that your timing is great, because the global events industry is projected to reach 2.1 trillion by 2032. And by the way, more and more events are coming to market because we're recognizing the power of convening people, and we need more experts, more diverse experts on stage. Part of my dedication to even doing a speaker program, right, is because I am tired of seeing the same people on stages. Because you have to understand, our experience as public speakers, when you're still in the speaker circuit with the same people day in and day out, you not only recognize that you're not networking with unique people throughout your journey, but for the audience, they're not getting the right information to grow. And as someone who's an event organizer, I recognize the loss that we are facing by not having more speakers like you on global stages. So the timing for you is great to have this conversation. And for my female speakers specifically, the event industry is really skewed to try and do better into 2025 and beyond, to find more female speakers. So event organizers are actually struggling to find people like you. So you can now change the pendulum swing and be more positioned so they can find you and book you. All right. And last but not least, like, I recognize that we are living in crazy economic uncertainty right now. And so you have to be very clear on your strategic steps into 2025. Like, listen, this year has been merciless for a lot of people. Comment hard if this year was pretty much a hard year for you, right? And for some of you, you do not want to keep making the same decisions that got you to where you are this year into 2025. You want to do things differently. And so the timing of you coming here, I want to tell you, no matter what you've been through this year, just by being here, you already shown that you're ready to start planning out and executing on a breakthrough 2025, because you're not starting in January like everybody else. You're starting today. Okay. That says something, because I know a lot of times when I do these programs at the beginning of the year, everybody's ready to be in the gym. Everyone's ready to change themselves. New me, new year, right? New year, new me, right? But you're like, no, 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 no. I need to reflect on this year now, and I need to prepare for next year now. You're really connecting the bridge. So really good to see all of you here. And you recognize that you need visibility, you need credibility, and you need revenue diversity like crazy because of this economic uncertainty. So many people are competing for the same things. That visibility you may be seeing, which is hard to do right now, but the credibility, some of you are on this session because I've built the credibility to get you to come here, right? You see me and you hear me. And I want to share with you that you also need revenue diversity. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket in 2025 and beyond. I'm telling you that right now. It will not work for you if you do not figure out how to really diversify your opportunities, so that way you create a sustainable stream for yourself, right? Many of you, when you think about career planning, you just are going through the motions. You graduate, you get your first job, you maybe, transition and go back to school. Maybe you start planning your family. You get into this rut of a career life routine, right? And what I've seen a lot of people who are stuck in trying to figure out how to navigate this journey is that you think that the only way to accelerate your career is maybe posting on social media to get high visibility. Maybe you want to build a following, maybe getting featured in multiple media magazines. Maybe that will help you accelerate your growth, or just trying to network to as many places as possible. This is what you've been told will accelerate your career. But quite frankly, what I found is actually public speaking is the most strategic way to not only accelerate your career, accelerate your growth, give you multiple revenue streams, and put you in a position of control over your career journey. When you are public speaking, you become when you're speaking as a public speaker, you are literally gaining authority to get doors open for you, simply because people recognize that you are now the expert. I want to learn and partner and work with you. Okay. So for those of you going back to those early challenges when you're saying like, look, I can't find speaking gigs. I'm finding gigs, but I'm not getting paid for them. I'm finding a couple, but I'm not, because there's all these different challenges. I want to challenge you today to actually see these challenges as opportunities, because a lot of times they're challenges for you because you're stuck in your comfort zone and you're trying to transition. And so here are some of the solutions that I've found that has worked for those of you who are stuck in some of these challenges that we just discussed, right? For those of you who don't know where to start, you have a planning issue. Okay. So what you need at the end of this week is to create a roadmap to launch and identify resources and strategies in the market. You are literally in an experimentation phase, right? For those of you like, look, I can't find any speaking gigs, period. You have a visibility issue. So you got to create the right speaker profile. For those of you who like, look, I can find free gigs, I'm getting free engagements, but I don't know how to get paid for it. You have a positioning issue. You have not created a product, a signature talk that gets people to say like, you are worth the value of me paying you for something. A lot of you are messaging organizers say like, yo, what's the honorarium fee for you to come in? But you have presented no value proposition to show them that you are worth the investment. So you're just another person on the roster, on the agenda. You're not someone that they should pay to speak, right? Some of you is like, look, I can't find consistent paid gigs, right? You have a pipeline process issue. You have not created a strategic process or a system to find gigs, close them, and scale, right? Some of you are getting consistent paid gigs, but you're stuck in the same feedback because you have a target market issue. You're not targeting the right avatar for your brand, right? And for some of you who are all over the place, you just have a project management issue, and you also have a team issue, right? You need help. You need an assistant. You need a team to help you with that. And I've been there before. My first hire really changed the game for me in my business and my personal career when it comes to my public speaking engagements, right? So there are a lot of opportunities here. So going back to your workbook, okay? Going back to your workbook, I want you to go now to the next page in the pre-planning section, because we're going to answer some of these questions right now, okay? Go beyond and go to that page, all right? And on that page in the pre-session, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions like for you to address, circle the challenge that you're dealing with right now, because we're going to come back to that. Okay. And the first question that I asked you in the workbook is, why are you trying to break into public speaking? And this is really crucial because some of you don't even know why you're trying to get into public speaking. Is it to get leads for your business? Is it because you just want to use it as a revenue stream? That answer matters. Now, many of you know the value of public speaking. You know that it's an amazing way to create immediate credibility. You can attract new career opportunities, generating income. It's easy to do from home. You could generate leads for your business. You know all the reasons why at large it's great, but for you specifically, what is your goal, right? And I'm saying this because I'm speaking from experience. Like when I even started my career, on a certain point didn't know why public speaking would benefit me specifically at the time, because a lot of people want to wait to figure certain things out before they get into the public speaker circuit. So like many of you who are entrepreneurs, comment entrepreneur if you're an entrepreneur on the call. When I quit my job, my corporate job, to move to Dubai, I knew nothing about Dubai. I knew nothing about launching a business. I just knew that I wanted to make a change, right? And in that time frame, I launched my first startup, and I was really blessed with the fact that I was getting so much phenomenal momentum with my first business that within 2 years, I was able to make the Forbes list, which is crazy considering that after that, I got multiple media missions, so multiple visibility in multiple different outlets, right? Really, really powerful. I started meeting the right people. I started meeting celebrities and influencers and billionaires. I mean, it was going great. But I will tell you this, speaking from experience, and this is something I'm going to share with you, what I realized that visibility doesn't always equal to success. Just because I was featured in all the different media outlets, just because I was in the right events, the right rooms, doesn't mean that it was translating and converting into actual paid opportunities for myself, right? And I will tell you, look, I'm not knocking media mentions, celebrity endorsements. These things do give you credibility. But I will say the world has changed because these credibility metrics doesn't always convert as well as in today's economy. Like for example, some of you came not because you knew that I was featuring all these media outlets. You came because of the agenda. I'm about to have conversations with you on topics that you know that you want to address. Comment. Okay, tell me. Let me do a poll. How many of you came for the agenda, and how many of you came because of the accolades that I achieved, my achievements? Tell me, are you here because of the agenda or are you here because of the achievements? Comment in the chat. What got you to sign up for this program? Right? Because again, so many people are showcasing on their website their credibility, the websites, the media features that they've had. A lot of people can gain credibility now. We live in an age of digital personal branding, right? A lot of people can frame themselves as the big guru. How many of you are tired of the freaking gurus that are taking over YouTube right now? I'm not telling you I'm an industry guru. I'm telling you I'm an authority that speaks on business. And in this lane, I know what the hell I'm talking about. So comment if you are here because of the agenda. And I'm seeing the comments, right? Yes, this is my point. So for those of you who are chasing media and chasing all these things that you see other people are telling you to do, a lot of you came simply because of the agenda. Now, my credibility is that I stand okay, Christine, you know your stuff. Great. Right? And some of you, maybe you came from both. Thank you for putting that in. Right? But the agenda matters. The conversation matters. If I can speak to power on the topics that matter to you, yeah, you're going to come and we're going to have this conversation. So what that means is authority is what converts, right? Authority is what converts. Visibility gets you, yes, it's great, but that doesn't mean it's going to convert into opportunity, right? So the fastest route to authority is public speaking. So again, I started right back to the drawing board, went back and said, okay, let me be more targeted with my work. Redid my website, and my speaker career started and kick off. At first, I was speaking at multiple universities, talking about my journey in entrepreneurship, right? I was speaking on multiple topics, by the way, all the things I just told you not to do. I was talking about digital skills, emerging markets, personal branding, entrepreneurship, women, ecosystem building. I was talking about all the things. Guys, I was everywhere. I was speaking at any event that could give me visibility, right? Any event that could give me some type of visibility. But the problem was I wasn't targeted. And I will tell you, we all have life moments that change our perspective and trigger us into making better decisions. When my husband and I were blessed with our first child, I recognized I couldn't travel to all these different speaking engagements for speaking for free, doing all the things, overworking myself just to get an engagement, sometimes paying out of pocket for a hotel, paying out of pocket to be at an event. I realized it was not sustainable. I had to do things differently, not only for my family, but also for myself, so that way I could show up for my family in a better way. That was a huge trigger for me. And I don't know if any of you guys are parents or you're providing for someone. When you have the added responsibility and accountability to have to provide for others, you have to make really, really strategic decisions in your career, right? So I recognize that speaking for free everywhere is not always going to convert. Some of you are just doing it for visibility. I'm telling you right now, you can stop. Okay. What I recognize is that people were actually, when I started to focus, that people were booking to pay me because of my expertise in entrepreneurship. When I went back, okay, let's go back. When I went back and looked at all the different speaking engagements that I was booked for, when I looked at the specific ones that I was paid for, so let's say I was booked at 80 different events, and let's say 10 of them were paid. The 10 that were paid were all the same topic, all on entrepreneurship. And I recognized that there was a pattern. If I focus specifically on one thing, the one thing that's getting me paid, the one thing that I'm good at speaking on, my expertise, I can really make a business out of this and grow this. So some of you need to find your one thing. And that decision and that understanding completely changed my trajectory on the speaker circuit. And I got to get to stages like this, where I'm headlining at multiple corporate destinations. I'm able to work with amazing clients who are paying me 6 figures, 5 figures, right? For contracts to not only speak, but also work with them, whether it's the US government, whether it's the World Bank, whether it's corporate partners, universities. I started to get real clients, and I started to really start making a real impact all over the world, because now I was very strategic in my steps. So this goes back to now for you, some of you are speaking just to be heard. You're not speaking to be helpful to others. The secret is not you just getting on stage to speak. The mindset that you need to shift right now is actually learning how to solve a problem. Like I said, I realized I was speaking everywhere, speaking on multiple topics and adding to the conversation, but I wasn't bringing anything of value to the audience where I could solve someone's problem in the audience with my expertise and with my background. I realized I needed to change that ASAP, right? So that's the secret. You got to start with solving a problem. So going back to you guys doing all the things and you're not getting anywhere, part of the reason why people are not paying to speak, because you're just another person coming to the event to address and support a conversation. But you're not changing lives. You're not changing mindsets. You're not giving people a message that they could go out there and apply in their life. You're not giving any clarity. You're not speaking with any conviction. You're not committed to any cause. So what happens is that you have no purpose-driven action plans or strategy to go into rooms for a specific reason. So what I want you to do now is to change how you walk into rooms. I want you to change and not just come to the table to speak like everybody else. Come to the table to change people's perspective on a topic that they never saw. Multiple people could talk about entrepreneurship, but nobody could talk about entrepreneurship the way I could speak on it, right? What is your thing, guys? That's what you're searching for. What is the problem that you want to solve for people? When you get on that stage, someone's going to walk out there and say, like, that's what I need to hear today. What she just said, that's the framework I needed. That is the solution I was looking for. That is the statement I needed to go back out there into the real world and apply what she said on that stage. That's what I needed. Some of you are going on stages and you're just giving people bullshit. Straight up. And yet you want to get paid and you have not even figured out your own value proposition. Why would I pay you just to contribute to a conversation and not change the paradigm entirely? You need to change your awareness and your mindset and say, like, look, I want to solve a problem with your audience today. Here's the mindset I want you to shift. The blueprint for success for you to become a speaker that gets paid and is purposeful driven. As one, you need to seek one major problem in the world that you want to solve with your voice. I'm not saying you can stop talking about other subjects, but what I'm saying is you have to have a North Star. What is one problem you seek to solve, again, with your voice? What is it? Obama is tackling leadership. We know when he get on stage, he is helping people to lead differently. Tony Robbins is inspiring people to really think differently, have a mindset breakthrough, to do things differently. Oprah is saying leverage your stories to grow. Each one of these speakers that you will pay thousands to see is because they have a specific message that they give you when they get on stage to challenge your thinking, challenge your situation, and shift your mindset. How many of you know what problem you seek to solve? Again, with your voice. If you don't know the answer to this, you are not ready to get paid to speak. Period. I said it. And you don't want to hear it, but you have to hear it. Because once you figure out the problem you seek to solve, people start to say, I want to work with this person. I need to book. We need her to come to our event to affect our audience. Right? Good one, Maria. The unique selling position point. Because once you solve that problem, you now know what to offer people. You have a specific talk that you want to give. You're not speaking on all the things. You have a specific conversation, a message you want to give people every time you get on stage. What is your message? That is your product. The product is not you coming in all dressed up, even though, yes, you guys can look good on stage, but the product is your signature talk. So now when you're going out there and pitching yourself to event organizers, pitching yourself to organizations, you know the right proposal. You know exactly what you need to say to them. You're not saying, hey, do you need a speaker? Like, no, do you need a speaker to come in there and tell your audience exactly the framework they need to launch a successful business? No, you're not coming there and say, oh, let me speak about AI. No, can I come in there and tell your audience exactly what is it about AI they need to apply to their personal brands, to their career trajectory? You start to get very specific. You start to know exactly what you need to tell people, right? And then what happens is your reach accelerates. Now you're not just reaching out to event organizers and organizations. You are starting to be magnetic, right? Where people are coming to because you're positioned for opportunity now. People see you, they hear you, and they know exactly what you come to do. Let me ask you this. If an event organizer went on your social media profile right now, on your website, or had a conversation with you, can they describe in one sentence what you do? Can they say exactly what value you can bring to their audience? If the answer is no, that's the problem we got to kill right now, today, and now. Are we following me today? I want to make sure we're all here. I see in the comments, but I want to make sure we're all here. Right? It's authority that converts, guys. Authority. Right? So with that said, how do you seek to solve a problem? First and foremost, search for problems in your industry or communities that need solutions and new voices. If you are in the AI industry, everyone's talking about AI, right? What are you working on AI? If you are, what specifically are you doing to tackle how people are leveraging artificial intelligence, right? If you are an entrepreneur on the call, we all know entrepreneurship is not easy. What have you learned specifically in your journey of entrepreneurship that you could bring to audiences that will change their trajectory? Is it how they pitch? Is it how they fundraise? Is it how they communicate value to their teams? What specific conversation can you bring to market that will change someone else right now? Right? You see how specific we're getting? And then evaluate the problems best suited for your expertise. I see this happen time and time again. Some of you are going to get another degree, get another certificate, get another program, do another research. If you have to research in order to get on stage, that is not your expertise. You're not experienced. I am telling you right now, I always tell people I'm a Haitian American and Ghanaian. I do not need to go research how to cook black rice and peas and jerk chicken. It's my expertise and my experience. That doesn't mean I went to culinary school. It'll be nice, but I've done it time and time again because my grandmother taught me, my mother taught me, my aunt taught me. I did it a million times. Guess what? I could come to you guys and say like, hey, I know you probably have heard about black rice and jerk chicken, but let me tell you how to do it my way. These are like, this is the pepper and the honey that I add to make it different. Are you following? There's a lot of different problems in the world, but what is the one that when you speak on it, no one can come and play around with you because you are the best person to speak on it. Because you know you are walking in your zone of genius when you speak to this problem. You're able to give truth to power, right? So some of you need to evaluate the problems. Look at what the industry is giving and where do you place. So if I'm looking at the entrepreneurship industry, the innovation and tech industry, where do I place myself? For me specifically, I know how to articulate to entrepreneurs how to go global with their business. That's the specific talk that I do on a regular basis at major events around the world, right? And then here's the thing that a lot of you guys don't want to do. You got to enact a period of experimentation, a phase where you're going to discover your ideal purpose and zone of genius. Some of you are operating in theory, where you want to research your way out of problems. Listen, you got to go out there and see, all right, let me start giving this one conversation and seeing how do I optimize it for my audience to make sure I'm at solving my problem. So if I realize I'm talking about how to build a global business and I'm walking people through in my talk how to do that, the first time I give that talk, maybe I see the audience is glazed out, that when I'm speaking about it, they mainly want to hear, like, how do I brand myself about, okay, now I get more specific, right? You need to go through that phase of experimentation. And then last but not least, we need to keep up with the industry. What are other people who are competing with you talking about? And how do you consistently keep up and stand out? So you're no longer someone that's in competition with others. You are not, you're literally above the competition. You want to get so good at the problem that you're solving that people can't even put you in the same bracket with other people. That when people speak about you, you are now no longer a part of the competition, the competition at all, right? You stand out from the crowd. Are we following? That's what happens, right? And so with that said, like I said, you have to define the problem you seek to solve. The solution to that is that you got to craft a value problem to positioning statement. Okay. Some of you, like I said, what is one sentence to describe how you solve problems for others? So that when event organizers look at your profile, they're like, yes, this is the person that we need at our event. Hands down, we need her, specifically her. I can't tell you how many times people book me and say, Christine, out of all the speakers we were looking at, we knew we had to have you. How many of you want to hear that phrase? We knew we had to have you no matter what. Not, oh, it would be great to have you, or thank you for joining. No, we had to have you specifically because of how you solved this main problem, right? So let's get our workbooks. And I want you guys to take the leap of faith of crafting your value problem to positioning statement. And a value statement is a crucial part for you to stand out of the market, okay? It clearly states in one sentence, what's the problem you solve? What are you offering this the audience and why you do it? Okay? That's a value positioning statement. So I would love for you guys on the chat, tell me in one sentence, what problem do you solve? Okay? And how do you solve it? Right? Tell me on the chat what that is. Now, let me give you a framework for those of you like, okay, how do I do this? Right? Going back to the workbook, on the workbook sheet, I share with you what the format is. All you got to answer for me right now on the chat. Tell me on the chat, okay? I help who? Who do you help? Some of you want to speak. I can speak to everybody. No. Pick one target market. I help who to do what because of why. All right? Tell me on the chat, who do you want to serve? What do you want to give them and why? Okay? Now, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I help entrepreneurs. That's my target market. I love supporting entrepreneurs. That doesn't mean I can't help corporate professionals, but guess what? It makes sense that my experience right now, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm living and breathing this expertise every single day. So it makes sense for me to target and help other entrepreneurs to monetize their brands online. Why? Because I've monetized my brand online as an entrepreneur. Again, I'm walking in truth. I'm walking in expertise. I'm walking in my zone of genius. It makes sense to serve that audience of entrepreneurs with that expertise, monetize their brands, because that's what I do. And why? What's my why? Because I don't need to do this. Now, let me be very frank. Some of you say, okay, Christine, why are you teaching other speakers how to become speakers if you're already a speaker? Because I'm good at speaking and I'm good at getting paid gigs. So why not teach others how to do it when it comes easy to me? That's the point you want to get to, where you are so good at something that's easy for you to teach it, right? It's nothing for me to do this even without the slides, y'all. Without the slides, I could talk about this all day, right? So some of you need to answer that question, right? What is your value proposition? Who do you want to help? And why are you the best person to do it, right? I know I can serve entrepreneurs because that's what I do every single day, right? So that is the first thing you need to answer. And some of you are starting to bring it in, right? I help Let me read this one. I help public and private owners to actualize their goals and dreams about built environment. It's too generic. I don't know what the hell that means. Yes, I'm going to get blunt with you guys, right? So, Roa, I need you to drill this down, right? Who do you help in the private sector? Do you help corporate professionals? Do you help executives? And we say actualize the goal. What do you mean actualize? Let's not use jargon. I help them to reach their goals with spreadsheets, right? With workbooks, right? With teaching lessons. What specifically are you giving them, right? You see, this is actually quite hard, right? And in my speaker school program, I teach people how to drill this down because that one statement will change how you are able to engage with decision makers to pay you to speak at events, right? Now, Aisha says, I want to help entrepreneurs and women to do what? What do you want to help them with? Because what's going to happen is like you're going to go on a stage and just ramble, and then you wonder why no one wants to pay you to come speak at their events. You're not giving anything of value. You just say you want to help women and entrepreneurs, but you want to help women and entrepreneurs to do what? Janice just said, I help entrepreneurs create high functioning performance teams. Yes, that is specific. She knows who she wants to talk to, entrepreneurs, and she knows what she wants to do for them. She helps them create high functioning performance teams. So there's a productivity there, right? There's a communication there. There's so many different value propositions that she could give in her talk, but she knows who herself. So she puts this like, look, I can come into your organization and I can speak to your entrepreneurs to help them create high functioning teams. Do you think your entrepreneurs need this or that? They'll say, yes, actually. We don't have any speaker specifically to help our entrepreneurs with that one challenge. Can I get some amen if that makes sense to you guys? How specific this one is, where now you know exactly what events she could go to. She could go to work culture events. She could go to entrepreneurship events, tech events. Heck, she could go into corporates and even apply that to executives. We help you to create high functioning performance teams. And guess what? Because that is a major issue for a lot of people, they will pay you immensely for that. Now, you're not just coming to talk to entrepreneurs about anything. You're specific to a problem that they're facing. So now they'll pay you 10, 20, 30, 40 grand, right? Because it's like whatever it takes for me to get that value, please, because I know I'm not functioning well with my team, right? Let's keep them going. Sherry just said, I help life sciences and cannabis companies mitigate risk and grow through compliance, best practices, and build sustainable brand equity. We're getting there, but it's a little bit too much. One simple sentence, right? I help cannabis entrepreneurs mitigate risk by knowing the law, by navigating the law, by navigating compliance, right? And you said sustainable brand equity so they can build impact-led companies, right? But let's get straight to the bare bones. Some of you want to sound smart, but let me tell you, and I'm not trying to come for anyone here, right? This is how I teach. This is how I give back. Again, remember I told you, I'm going to give you what no one wants to tell you. Okay? That's how I do it. Because I wish people got real straight to the point with me because it would save me time, money, tears, and pain. So let's get straight down to the business, right? I help cannabis entrepreneurs mitigate risk, legal risk. So that way they could go out there and build impact-led companies. Let's get straight to the point. Why are you doing this? Because if they get into legal trouble, they can't build sustainable companies. So can you imagine why anybody who's breaking into the cannabis industry as an entrepreneur, I'm like, look, I need to speak to you because we're doing well, but we need to navigate the legal field. Are we following? Right? Get to the point. Caroline just said, I want to bring a better education to more children in Haiti by finding opportunities to the leaders and educators who serve them. Again, I'm still trying to figure out what specifically you do. A lot of you are giving us paragraph and descriptions, but get to the heart of the matter, right? I want to give children of Haiti on a better access to education. So that way they can become great leaders, so they can connect to the right industry leaders, right? What are you trying to do? So we all know your target is children. I want to serve children with better education so they can find the right opportunities, right? Let's get straight to the point. You're targeting children. You want to give them better education so they can find better opportunities. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Now you guys are streaming in with the comments. right? We got to get more to the point. Last one. I have designers become more creative to elevate their projects and brands to get published and expand their visibility. London, I need you to go a little bit deeper. I help designers become more creative. No, what specifically are you doing to help them become more creative? Right? And then there you say elevate their projects and brands. What does elevate mean? Guys, you're confusing me. I'm an Ivy League graduate and I'm confused. And in this world, if someone's confused, they move on. We don't got time to figure you out. So you got to figure yourself out and your value proposition. So when I come to you and you say, oh, I'm worth 20 grand for this speaking engagement, it's because this is what I do. Do you need it? Yes, let's have a conversation, right? But if you're not clear on what you're giving, how can I pay you, right? So for London, it could be, I help designers become creative. No, I help designers really hone in on their creativity so that way they could be better found for projects, right? Get straight to the point, all right? So we could do this all day, okay? But this is what I'm saying. What is the statement? And I always say, whatever I tell you to do, I actually do myself, right? So if you go on my LinkedIn profile, you could go on my LinkedIn profile right now, right? Go on my profile. I'm going to share on the chat right now so you guys can all have access to it, right? You will see that I clearly state my value statement in the beginning, helping entrepreneurs build impact-led personal brands and businesses with technology. You know who I serve and what I give them, right? And this goes back to bringing back full circle why some of you are struggling, right, with all these different problems and not realizing that when you have a real vision as to who you want to serve, the problem you want to address, this is where you're going to start attracting opportunities. You're going to be able to state your few with conviction and confidence with your chest open, right? You're going to be able to do gigs that excite you. You're going to win. You're going to be more specific and focused. So if today was very insightful for you and you want to stop being overwhelmed and overlooked and frustrated with the pace of your career, I want to welcome you, right, to take control, become more visible, and really do things differently. By joining me, I want to invite you to take this a step forward by joining me on the Paid Speaker Career Accelerator program. So that way you can build the collateral you need to position yourself, figure out the right systems and structure to be able to find paid speaking engagements, and be able to get out there and get the right gigs. Now, I will share with you that this program is an on-demand course. So as soon as you sign up, you're able to get immediate access to all the course material. But I love supporting people live with Q&A and challenges. You could tell I love to do that, right? So for a period of about 6 months, you're going to have access to live Q&A calls and implementation sessions to help you execute on outreach. And each program participant gets at least 2 one-on-one sessions with me. So that way we can also stay customized on your strategic goals. How many of you, it will serve you right now to not only get the blueprint through this course, but also live interaction calls where I can specifically talk to you about what you need to do next, right? If this is a good fit for you, I invite you to join me today, all right? 3 bonuses you will get if you sign up today to be a part of this program. 1, I'll do a deep dive personal brand audit on your profile so I can give you a specific action plan. 2, I will help you find a spreadsheet, create a spreadsheet of your target list of buyers that will pay you to speak within the next 60 days or less. And then the last bonus that you will get for those of you who want to join is that you will get a calendar plan to be able to strategically work with me for 2025, where I will sit there with you live. We have a session next week where I'll give you a calendar strategy to map up your entire 2025. And all of this is a simple investment of $2,497, or you could do a payment plan. Okay. Now, I'll speak more on this throughout the week, but if you join today, these are all the added benefits you will get with the program. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to take this a step further and talk about how to stop speaking on multiple topics and why all you need is one signature talk to hit 6 figures in 2025. Now, with that, I know we're over time and I want to make sure that I end the session on time for many of you. You're going to get a recap of today, But I wanted to begin today by making sure that we address the specific problem that you need to solve so you can start getting positioned for the right gigs. And tomorrow, we're going to create the product, the signature talk that's going to get you the paid speaking engagements you deserve on your calendar in 2025. I bid you adieu. I can't wait to see you same time, same place tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thank you all.